4 inner child wounds. These will also make you question or feel like you might be the narcissist if you're in an emotionally abusive and neglectful relationship, because they too have these wounds. The difference between you and a narcissist is you have emotional empathy and they lack it. Both of you need healing these wounds, but only one of you will do what it takes. Wound 1, the guilt wound. This is constantly feeling bad or sorry, over-apologizing for things that you didn't even do wrong, being afraid to set boundaries, feeling like you're a bad person if you do, using guilt to manipulate, and attracting people who shame and guilt you, feeling guilty for asking what you need. Number 2 is the abandonment wound. Always feeling left, feeling alone, even when you're not. Deeply fearing that people will leave you. Focusing on the ones that have. Believing it's because something's wrong with you. Finding it hard to commit. Being codependent. Number 3, the neglect wound. Neglecting yourself and your needs. Holding on to things that don't serve you and struggling to let go of the things that don't. Getting angry, pissed off, and going off easily. Having low self-worth, struggling to see any worthiness or value within you. Then 4, the trust wound. Finding it difficult and or impossible to trust yourself. Knowing you're not someone who can really be trusted, even though you want to be and want to be with someone who can. Someone who's afraid to be hurt by others, so they don't get too close and they don't really let people in. They feel insecure and need a lot of external validation, which leaves you feeling needy and anxious, and attracting people who are unsafe. Attracting people who use and abuse you. That's attracting narcissists. Healing at the core and root of these inner wounds transforms everything. So what have you asked yourself about you being ready to? Maybe in that, those wounds come up. You don't know if you can. You're afraid of what's going to come up. You're afraid that if you do, you'll be left alone. You're afraid of what you might find, that it might be too big, too much. You've already made it through whatever caused those wounds. Isn't it time for you to really take that next step? Truly heal from those wounds so that you feel safe to connect with yourself and with others. After all, that's what we all long for. Safety, love, trust, connection. If you don't have it within yourself, you won't find it within others as well. Just click on the link to connect.